channel, you have the book, you help people find jobs. What are some common mistakes people make with their resume?
The most common mistake that they make is they don't make it about their accomplishments. It's almost like, let's say right now I'm working as an accounting manager, right? And I want to apply for the job role of like the next step up, director, who knows, right? And then I have to write a resume and write the experiences section of the job that I do now. Well, it should be accomplishments based, and you read this generic, I'm sure you've come across this advice all the time when you were trying to figure it out, these hacks. But when I actually read actual resumes from people who said, oh, I think my resume is already good, and then I was like, well, let me take a look, right? Because if you're struggling in your job search, I actually have to look at your resume and see what is the issue. It could be your resume, it could be your LinkedIn, it could be your interview skills, who knows? But let's start with your resume. And I'll look at the resume, and it looks like a rehash of the job listing that they applied to, that they ended up working. So like, it would be, since I'm working as an accounting manager, it looks like a repeat of the job listing that I applied to for the job I'm in now, right? And it just like all meshes in, and people can't tell the difference between you as a candidate, like the quality of your work versus someone else, because especially accounting, can you imagine? All accountants do the same thing.
Yeah.
We all do the same thing. So if someone else had an accounting resume and compared it to yours, like for example, then it's almost like, well, you both do the same thing. Which one's better?
Yeah.
And the way to stand out is the accomplishment. Think about the things that you did beyond your job duty. So like, people can already infer what you already did at your job based on the title, right? It's very, very obvious what an accounting manager does or what a staff accountant does. They can already infer what your routine duties are based on the title. It's about what you did beyond what you were asked for, like beyond the minimum, beyond the expectation, beyond the responsibilities that were placed on you. Like, did you do extra things, projects on top of that? And those are the things to put in your resume.
Yeah. And I heard, a lot of people make the argument and say, hey, what if I don't have any experience, but I got the education? Which do I put first? Or if I don't have any experience, I mean, people, try to make that argument all the time. What do you think when people say that?
Well, if you don't have any experience, that's because you're entry level. You just finished school.
Yeah.
So if you just finished school, then more of your resume would just be your education, like the list of the courses that you took, your GPA, right? Later on in your career, education just becomes one line at the bottom of your resume. But when you just start out, the education is more at the top, right? And then you also might put internships that you did or volunteer experience. So it doesn't have to be paid work experience that you did. It could just be like 2-month projects that you did that you could put on your resume to put for the experiences section.
Yeah, I agree.